And now the Hansons and Hiatus podcast with Nate and Alexis.
Happy Friday, fuckers. It's another episode of Hansons on Hiatus. I'm your host, Nate, and this is my wife, Alexis.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
And this is episode number 33.
Very nice.
Yeah, I was getting a little confused there because we, pre-recorded the last two, which we usually, record them the night before or whatever. But the one where, we didn't realize before Tiger had passed, we recorded that early, and appreciate you guys bearing with us. And then the last one we recorded. So, as you know, we were trying to take Tiger to the United States to get him that medicine. So I had a flight, I had a rental car and everything. And so after we'd sat and we didn't leave the house for probably 3 days.
Yeah.
Not at all. We ordered food in, we just sat here and kind of cried and smoked and
all day long.
watched TV and stuff. So I was like, we got to get out of this situation. At least, and I know that's not going to solve it, but I just wanted to get out of, where this traumatic experience just happened. And, it's still going to be here when we got back, but I just thought we need to go do something. So I was saying, let's go up to the States and see our friends. Let's go, or do you want to go on a little trip, just you and I? And we didn't know which was better. Our friends would be good to be around because they would, maybe help us keep our mind off of it. But then we were worried that's all that we would talk about. Going off on a trip by ourselves, I thought it would be good for us. But then also I was like, well, then are we just going to sit there and talk about Tiger the whole time and feel bad? So we eventually decided to kind of do the trip that I was planning with Tiger up to the States and flying to Orlando, only because we were trying to go to Orlando and then up to Atlanta to see two groups of friends that we missed the last time we were coming down, right?
Right.
And so we were trying to get some of the stuff moved. So I had this car rental for when I was there with Tiger. It's 7 days long, and they wouldn't move the date because I was like, oh, I'll just rearrange the dates and move it back, and we can book plane tickets or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was good for 7 days. I messaged immediately, and they said it's non-refundable. And at the time, I didn't care. But then when we got into the planning mode of okay, maybe we'll just do a little trip and go see our friends and be around people, our loved ones. I call them, and actually I called Expedia, and great customer service, by the way. People, talk shit about Expedia sometimes. I've used them for quite a while, and their customer service is great. This dude was like, yeah, unfortunately, your car rental is non-refundable. Would you like me to call the rental company and see if they'll do anything? And I was like, yeah, that'd be great. My dog had just passed. I still want the rental from you guys. You can still get my money. I just wanted to see if you could move it. Because most rental car places have a ton of cars, right?
Right.
No, they wouldn't do that. They're like, no. And so then this customer service guy escalates it to the higher up, and they still said no. And they said they marked me down as a no-show. So this is where it pisses me off.
Yeah.
So I have the rental for 7 days. We were technically coming in on day 5 of if we're booking these flights.
Yeah.
Day 5 of the rental. I paid you for the rental. You don't. If you're going to keep my money and it's non-refundable, you don't get to rent it out to somebody else. I think that's completely unfair. I understand the keeping my money because you could say, oh well, we could have rented this out, but we couldn't because you had reserved it. So in your books, that car should be reserved for those full 7 days. You don't get to keep my money and rent it out to somebody else.
You.
Well, I mean, that's what it should be. Like I said, I can understand if you're out money, but if you have that car back up on the rental site and it's 2 days in, you should only be charging me for 2 days. You made your money back with those other 5 days. So I think it's really fucked up that since it's rent, it's technically should have been reserved for the 7 days. I should be able to show up at any point and just pick up the car.
Right.
You're not charging me for storage fees because the car was on your property anyway.
I'm sure they have some silly fine print like every car rental place does that says, if you're a no-show, not only do we keep your money, but we reserve the right to rent out our car. It's their car. It's taking up space on their lot. So maybe I could see some weird stipulation, or we need to take them to small claims court.
I mean, it's not worth it, but just the principle of it,
right.
that's how
I'm on your side.
That's
sure.
how things should work. and like you shouldn't be able to double dip. Basically, you're getting my money and somebody else's money for the same car. And I don't know how you can do that because you didn't technically provide me a service, especially with the insurance. They wouldn't give me the insurance back either. I'm like, what are you insuring? I never took I took hold of your car. I never had it in my possession.
Right.
So what are you insuring? Like the transaction never actually went through because, you pay a little bit online and then you got to pay a little bit at the counter.
Right.
So I didn't pay the counter. And so I never technically had like a full contract with them. So why do I have to pay the insurance? What are you insuring? You're insuring a car that was never obtained and never driven.
Right.
Like, so I should get that
you
back.
would think okay, I could see if you're a no call, no show. They don't know. You could be dead for all they know. They don't care. They're moving on. They collected your money and they're going to rent it out again. But you message them like, hey, this is the situation that's going on. We could even prove it. We have a death certificate. I don't think you went that far with them, but we have a legitimate excuse and they didn't care.
No, bastards. So that was the kind of the thing holding us up on deciding what to do. And as of, I don't know, when did we... Thursday? Was it a Thursday we went up?
I think you took all week to convince me. And then
but I just like the actual day we flew out was it
Thursday.
Or 2 Thursdays ago, I guess.
Yeah, it was Thursday. Thursday morning because we were going to leave on Friday with my friend Chrissy that was here.
So like as of literally Thursday morning, we had no concrete plans. We had no flight, we had no car rental. That was kind of the thing we were trying to find. I got this car rental for a week for like $100. Oh no, actually it was like $70, and then it ended up being like $120 after insurance or something. So I'm thinking, okay, I'll get a good deal. Every car I looked at was like $400 or $500 just to have it for a couple days. I'm like, what the fuck? So that was really holding us back from going. And then that morning, and I had said the night before, like, hey, we need to probably leave by 10 a.m. if we can, if you want to go. I'm like, okay. So we didn't set an alarm, wake up or anything. It was like 9 a.m. and we were just like, let's go.
Yeah, you're like, we could go. I'm like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah.
And we already packed for Friday potentially.
Yeah, actually, you were the one that was more like, let's do it. Because I was kind of asking you, like, not convincing you, but trying to be like, are you sure? Do you want to go?
I was like, fuck it. Let's go.
Yeah. So luckily we were already packed, or I was already packed since, I was supposed to be taking up Tiger. You had kind of packed because it was like a thing up in the air.
Yeah.
So we're like, let's record our episode really quick. So that one you heard last weekend, we recorded that right before we left.
Yep.
Got on our bike, we had our bags packed, got on our bikes, rode across town to the bus. The bus was leaving in like 20 minutes. And we get there and, no, actually it was leaving in 20 minutes, but the bikes weren't, what was that? Yeah. The bikes weren't working. We could only get one. So by the time we got there, it was like
we were
20 minutes past. I'm like, fuck. So we go outside and, there's a taxi out there and I asked him how much to the airport. Gave me a pretty decent price. All right, let's do it. So we jumped in a fucking cab. We're driving up to the airport, which is like a 45-minute ride. And so we literally buy our plane tickets in the car on the way up there.
And this is killing my anxiety from the start. From the minute we left in a rush from our house, the bikes, the bus, the taxi, I'm just like, these are all signs of telling us not to go. There's a few roadblocks in the way. Nothing major, but like something is saying like, don't go. But we're just like, let's keep going. It's fine.
That's just things people say when they want a reason to not go.
Well, it gives me anxiety when things start kind of like pushing you back or holding you back on a situation like that, especially travel. I'm like, am I not supposed to go yet? Should we go tomorrow?
Right.
Is something bad going to happen? Is something good going to happen?
But I'm just saying, like, that's something people say when they, not you personally, but like other people, like when they don't want some, see, it was a sign. I shouldn't have done this or I shouldn't have done that. But if it's something else, like if it was building a business and you were running into roadblocks and you pushed through it with all this hard work, then you applaud it. You're like, oh, look at them. They ran into every roadblock and they made it through or whatever. But no, very few times. Well, I mean, people in business probably do it. Like, oh, should I have done this? Is this a bad idea or whatever? But it doesn't mean if there are roadblocks, it just means it's so much sweeter when you get to the final thing.
That is true. Destination.
Yeah.
And I think like you spinning it, let's go see our friends. They'll comfort us. They'll support us. And I think that's really what sold me over, like take our minds off it. And all these people know Tiger so well, are good friends. So I was just thinking it wouldn't hurt to smile.
Well, and we had originally planned, we wanted to fly into Atlanta and spend a couple days there with our friends, and then drive down, see our friend Kelly in Merritt Island, and then continue on to Orlando and spend a couple days there. But the flights to Atlanta at least from Cancun were either
Oh my gosh.
like $700 each, or they were such a long like layover. Like we'd have to fly to like Baltimore and stay there for like 9 hours and then come back. It just like it did not make sense. It was so much cheaper to fly to Orlando. We both flew to Orlando, $200 round trip for combined for our tickets.
Can't beat that.
And then that was the plan, renting the car. So we really had, when we were taking off, I was still looking for cars. I was trying to find the best deal, checking Turo and a bunch of different things. And
your mom was helping so much.
Well,
we're like, this is what we found.
Yeah, and so that's what I was to say. When we were taking off, and in Spirit, we don't get Wi-Fi free.
Yeah.
So I just messaged my mom. I was like, hey, if you can find anything while we're in the air, please, let me know if you see anything.
Let me just say, Jackie Hansen this is where you get it from: your organization, your Tetris mode when packing, or like, packing things, and your Google resourcing. Your mom is amazing at Googling things and researching things. You guys will like research something to death until you have your final like answer for, I don't know, you guys could start a business.
She's a good researcher as well.
Really
good. So we land, turn on our phones, and she's like, I found you guys a rental. I reserved, for you so you can go and take care of it when you get there. And we go, and it is it's a minivan.
Big black minivan. Thanks, Jackie. We love you.
Yeah. Which actually turned out to be like the best rental.
It was amazing. I wish we had like 5 dogs or 5 people or something like that to shove in there because there was so much space.
Unfortunately, it was with Fox Rental, and I don't know. I've never rented from them before, but I've heard they're like Flying Frontier. It's a cheap. You do it for the cheapness, but then you get fucked in the long run.
A lot of extra fees, a lot of stipulations, a lot of like, kind of wiggle room for them. I don't know. They're a little sketchy.
Yeah. So this lady, we get up. She was nice at the counter, and she first was trying to. You got a free upgrade because you booked through Expedia. Would you like one of our Mercedes SUVs? Like, no, I would not.
Well, first she goes over, you have the minivan, this and that, are you looking for anything specific? We're like, we need more like economical, like gas saving, whatever. And she's like, how about this Mercedes SUV? And we're like, no.
It's like, and also we were going by the insurance on her credit card, which I feel like they fuck us every time because it's supposed to like cover it, but then they always weasel it. Well, no, you have to have this other special insurance, and it's twice as much as the rental.
If anyone knows the real answer to this, someone that may be in car rentals or insurance, what do I need to say yes to at the car rental counter, and what can I say no to because I'm already paying my credit card or my car insurance or whatever that covers it? I think they're making extra money off us, and none of us know.
Yeah,
we're all like,
it's not,
sure, take the $85, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, because it's not like a parent. You do the same thing with Mexico. Remember that one time we were trying to rent a car, and it was through like Hertz or something.
Yeah.
And it was double the insurance was the amount of the car, basically, amount of the rental, which made no sense. But you can rent from like a local Mexican agency, and they don't like, oh yeah, insurance is included. No big deal.
Fully covered.
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah.
But then the name brand ones are like, oh no, you want insurance.
So I feel like that's what she was doing with it. Well, that'll cover that, but you need to get this. It's a state law in Florida.
Fine, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. And then she was like, we were like, we just need something, that's gas economical or whatever. And she's like, oh, well, you want to sign up for this, for the toll pass. Because in, Central Florida, there's a lot of tolls, which we understand. We lived there for 10 years. And she's like, it's $12 a day. And I was like, okay, well, what if I'm like sitting at my buddy's house and, I'm thinking we're going to be in Atlanta half the time.
Yeah.
How do I have to pay for it every day it's used? How's that work? She's like, oh, well, we don't know. What was it? We don't know what tolls you've gone through or something, or what days you used it or not.
Yeah, you do.
I was like, yeah, you would. So
you would definitely know if we used your toll pass or not.
Yeah.
But there would be charges.
So, she's like, it's $15 per toll that you go through if we have to pay it for you.
Yeah.
So she's like, it just makes more sense. And I'm thinking in my head, and I look at you, and I was like, yeah, no, we're not doing that.
Look at this lady.
Yeah. She goes, okay. I mean, I go through 3 tolls on the way here.
Yeah, just to work. She's like, good luck. We're like,
She's being all snotty there. So.
Already you rub me wrong.
Yeah. And in my head, I'm thinking, and so anybody else going to Central Florida, if you are renting a car, the toll pass is usually it's a Sun Pass. You can buy the Sun Pass sticker at any like Walgreens, Publix, lots of different places. They're $4.99 each.
Yeah.
You buy, slap it up in your car, in your rental car, go on the app or their website if you have an account or you make an account, and then you just load it. Like people put like what, $10-15 in it or something.
$15, no more than
Yeah.
that.
So instead of paying $80 some, we only paid like $15.
Just make sure, warning, take it off before you leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which
we
did.
Yeah, it was
We
we
didn't leave
didn't
it.
not do that.
No.
Yeah. So anyway, so we got the van and we landed. Well, we got about 5:30 or something.
Yeah.
And just drove. Didn't even stay in Orlando. Just drove it straight up to Atlanta. We got to our friend Lindsay and Patrick's house about, I don't know, it was like 1 a.m. or something.
Yeah, midnight around there.
To stay the night there. And so we spent some time. If you were listening to the rock station, is Lindsay Marie. So yeah, we stayed at their house and
Thank you so much with Bryn, their little beautiful baby boy Bryn.
Yeah. Oh, and actually on the way up there, we were trying to decide to stay at their place or our other friends, Steve and Donna's.
Mm-hmm.
And we message, Patrick and Lindsay like, hey, we're on our way up, and they're like, just to let you know, Bryn got sent home from school for being sick, so he is sick right now and at home, and he can't, go back to school for 36 hours. And then we messaged Steve and Donna, and they're like,
yeah,
Donna has a cold right now, so we're
like, whose is worse?
Yeah, and then and we never stayed at Patrick and Lindsay, so we're like, oh, well, we'll see their new place out in Woodstock, and we'll stay with them.
Yes.
So yeah, we stayed with them, and what did we do? We did Pontoon. We went to Pontoon. Unfortunately, they're closing. If you're in the Atlanta area, hit up Pontoon Brewing in Sandy Springs. They are closing. Hopefully not forever.
Hopefully it's a temporary closing, but yeah, please support them, message them, give them, good wishes and memories on their Facebook. We definitely love them and have worked with them for a while now. You have at least.
Yeah. And then what else did we do? We had the minivan. So Grandma watched Bryn and you and me and Patrick and Lindsay all piled in the minivan, and we did some brewery hopping,
a little shopping, a little eating. It was fun.
And then the next day, what was it, Sunday, we went to our favorite yearly tradition, going to Helen, Georgia for Oktoberfest. Longest running Oktoberfest in the country. It starts like beginning of September, ends like the last weekend of October, I believe.
Yeah.
But it was just funny because we've literally gone there even though we've moved 2 years ago, we just happened. The year we moved, we went to the very first weekend at the beginning of September. Then last year we were up for Podcasts and Pours around Halloween, so we went to the very last weekend.
Yeah.
So we were like, keep it going. Like, I think we started going when I moved up to Atlanta and you were still living in Orlando.
Right.
And what did I fly you up for? Oh, it was our anniversary.
Yeah.
Our dating anniversary.
Either I flew up or drove up. I don't remember.
You probably flew.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I picked you up at the airport and we drove straight up to Helen. We got that cabin.
That was my first time at the Atlanta airport, and I was terrified. I was like, it's so big.
Yeah, so we've been going to Helen every year for 8 years. So we're like, let's keep it going.
Yeah.
We've been with Steve and Donna for like the last 4, I think. So
kind of just worked out. It's really funny how we got to do it.
We went up for the day and just hit all our favorite spots, drank some German beers, and ate some good food.
The food is so good. Love it.
Yeah. And so we're up in Oktoberfest in Helen, and you got to go to the fest hall.
You got to, at least one night.
Yeah. Even though it's kind of, I don't know. No, actually, they remodeled it recently.
Yeah.
It's still, it is what it is. It's not the party you think of. It's a lot of older people, but it's still a blast.
It's
and
great. Good food, good music. People are drinking,
accordion players, and they got the different games and stuff, and food and everything like that.
They had some really good bands while we were there. Some of them were like younger Oktoberfest bands, which was nice to see and kind of shocking to see. Like 20-year-olds playing the accordion and stuff and singing these like old songs that everyone looked shocked, like, yay. It was a fun time.
So we're sitting at this table and we look at the one next to us, and what are those hats? Like, they're those kind of Oktoberfest hats, but they look like witches hats, that are It looks
it
like
by,
a
like age or something. Like if you're older, you wear the pointy ones, and if
Yeah, I
you're
don't
younger,
know.
where you wear like the fedora kind of looking at.
Yeah, it looks like a Harry Potter type hat. Anyway, next to this table next to us, there's this woman with a little, not a little, pretty decent sized ponytail.
Long, very long
And
ponytail.
There is a man behind her.
Pretty sure it was her husband.
Also with a ponytail.
Yep.
And he is combing her ponytail, but with his fingers. And he's like,
I just remember all of us looking at each other at the same time and looking over like, what is happening right now? But he was like just caressing her hair, just pulling his fingers through it. And she's just sitting there watching the band. And we're all like, what is going on?
Yeah. First thought, weird. Second thought, aw.
Aw. Do you want me to braid your hair, honey? You never stroke my hair.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
There is, if you ever go to Helen, Oktoberfest, best people watching ever. There's every walk of life there from Georgia and beyond. And it's just a very unique group of people.
Yeah. It's a nice mix of people celebrating the holiday, mountain folk, bikers, just a little bit of everybody.
There's like a whole group of like Harley Davidson biker people that just roll through all the time, like listen to my motorcycle. And it's just everyone loves it. Who doesn't love beer and good food?
Yeah. So I know we wanted to see a lot more people in Atlanta or do some kind of meetup, but we literally were there for like 48 hours.
We were.
So we will definitely try to get back and plan something else.
Yeah.
But we had a great time as usual. We miss Atlanta.
We miss everybody, and I think our friends needed to see us too. Everybody's kind of had a little.
Everybody's been going through something. This has been a hard year, I think, for everyone.
It's been a hard year so far. Like, I mean, well, not so far. It's been a hard year.
Yeah.
It's coming to a close, but all of our friends needed us as much as we needed them, and I think it was good to get back together and help each other.
As Parker McCullum says, it's been a hell of a year.
Yes. Look at you quoting country songs.
It was Tiger's favorite song.
Tiger loved it. I thought it was the Get Stoned song. That's what I say is his favorite.
But back to okay, so Bryn was sick, Donna was sick, and then we're making our way down to Merritt Island, and we're going there, and our friend Kelly's son is also sick.
Yes, Dade had a cold from what do you go to not prom, but like homecoming, some kind of homecoming dance, and our good friends Kelly and Anthony were home also, and just making fun of him and telling us about like the pictures and everything. But
well, they said he was sick because he was during homecoming.
She's like, did you see his pictures? Yes, we did. His little girlfriend or date is so beautiful. And she's like, they're all sick. They all have a cold, or they all have the same cold, or a couple of them, called out. And she's like, why is whatever name Parker or whatever sick? And he's just like,
So we were just there for a night, and then we drove down to Orlando to see some more of our friends. One of my buddy Frank that I go on my trips with, the Euro trip and Egypt and everything.
Frank the Tank.
Trying to hang out with him. Nope. Positive for the flu. Then we go to stay at our friend Jared and Brittany's house. Their daughter, I think she just had, I don't know what she had actually. Was it a cough? She had a bad cough, really bad cough.
Baby cough.
I don't know what she got sent home from school as well.
Yeah.
Then our other friends, Stacy and Jacob, their baby was sick.
It was like that season where all the colds come in.
Everybody was sick.
Everyone was sick.
And then we get back to Mexico, and my mom is flying in just for the weekend, and she gets sick. And we last all these sick motherfuckers in the U.S., and then my mom takes you down when we were here.
Yeah, she's way worse than I am, and I'm feeling much better, but I know you can hear it. I sound like I have like a raspy little cough going on, but I don't know what she got. I guess she got the flu as well, and I must have got a touch of it, but I'm feeling much better.
Good. Oh, that's good. And
yeah, we dodged all those kids and all their little boogies and ends up here.
The only other couple things I remember off the top of my head from the trip was flying back on Spirit. Spirit and Frontier get a bad rap, but we've had fantastic luck with Spirit. Frontier not so much, but we were joking. Spirit is the only airline when they come on the announcements that they tell you if you're going to play music or TV shows, you have to use headphones.
Yes.
And all I can think of is when we'd ride MARTA in Atlanta and there's somebody listening to like full YouTube videos or like just like the most profane music, just out loud with all the children, around and everything.
It would be the worst stuff.
So of course Spirit says that.
Of course. And we were like, who doesn't use headphones? There were a couple people not using headphones.
Oh, yeah.
Older gentlemen, also, I will say, not the younger crowd.
That's funny.
It's just who cares?
But so when we got off the plane, we were trying to get on the bus as soon as possible. So we got from on the plane, off of the plane, through immigration. We didn't have any bags. And then we went through the security checkpoint, got our bus tickets to the bus in 11 minutes.
It was a world record.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the fastest we've ever done it. But so when you go through, I don't know, is it immigration or customs or whatever the fuck you call it,
Probably,
when you're coming in the country, if you've flown into Mexico and Cancun, there's the long lines that you have to go and they check your passport and stamp and everything like that. Well, and then there's these machines, but there's one line that says Mexicanos, and so we usually go through that. I don't know. So we have residency, which is not the same as citizenship. Right. It's kind of a gray area of which line we go through because there's less of us residents going. So they normally tell us to go to the Mexican line. We've never had an issue with it. And we're in front, we're getting ready to go next. And there's this Mexican guy behind us and he taps me on the shoulder and he's like, "Hey, I think you guys are in the wrong line."
Yeah. With his family. Yeah. They're all so cute. We're like,
yeah. And so then we're like, "Oh no, like we're residents." And he's like, "Yeah, I know, but this is for, Mexicanos." And I was like, "Yeah, but this is the one they tell us." Like, I felt bad. I didn't want to argue with him because I felt like I don't have any place to argue, but that's usually how it is. And
then you showed him.
Yeah, I showed him the card, but he saw the card. He didn't care. He really thought like we weren't allowed to go, and maybe we aren't. I don't know. But when the agent called us up, she brought us up. So she's like, "Oh no, Mexicanos, da da da," and then we showed her our cards. She's like, "Oh, okay, okay," like it was totally fine then. And so I don't know if he felt bad or not, but I was like, we were in the right lane. But we got scolded.
We totally would have got out of lane and gone to another one, but we were like, but we think we're right.
Yeah. And let's see what else. Oh, so our friend Carla that lives across the hall, she let us borrow her car when we had that whole thing going on with Tiger.
Yes,
so you wanted to bring her back something from the States.
Yeah.
And she loves the little door signs that you do. And Alexis always does these different door signs for the season or the holiday and just keeps it festive.
Yeah. I brought a couple with me. We had limited space when we were moving down, but then my best friend Chrissy always brings me new ones from the Dollar Tree, whatever it is, Day of the Dead or Halloween or Thanksgiving. And that's how, Carla and I started talking before that, but she was like, "I always love your door signs. They're so pretty. Where do you get them?" Like, the Dollar Tree. They're nothing special. I'll get you some.
Yeah. So you got two for the, the season, like kind of the Halloween-y fall type season.
Yeah.
And one of them, what was on it, Alexis?
Well, one says "Welcome Home," and the O has like a little pumpkin. So I'm like, okay, October, November, fall season. It's not really fall here, but it's cute. You can celebrate. And then on the other one, it says like, "Be thankful" or "Give thanks," and it's a really, really pretty like teal kind of iron sign because I know she has a teal theme going on. Didn't even think about it, but she looks at it. She's like, "Oh, these are great. Thank you. I'm going to hang it up. Is this one for the thankful holiday or something to that effect?" She was like, "Because we don't celebrate that in my culture." And I was like, "Oh my God." I was like, right. I'm like, I'm so sorry, but I will teach you how to celebrate Thanksgiving, and we'll teach you all about it. And I was like, it's literally just a day to be thankful for your friends and family and, any of that nowadays. So
on the surface, it's easy. It's like, it's just a dinner. You get together with your friends or family and, be thankful for each other. So like, okay, nice. I get that. But yeah, so Alexis gave a Mexican woman a Thanksgiving sign in Mexico.
But she really appreciated it and she wants to learn more. And she was like, we should make, she's a big baker and cook. She cooks a lot. So she was like, we should make a Thanksgiving dinner together and like have a friend's Thanksgiving. And I was like, that's called a Friendsgiving. And she was like, oh my God, so excited. So we might have to do that and get everybody in the building together and have a little potluck Thanksgiving style, something like that.
Exactly. Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah. But isn't that what it's about? We learn about
for sure.
Mexican culture.
It's just funny how
we
didn't think about it. Well, even if you got a Halloween sign, like they don't really.
Yeah.
there's Halloween celebrations. I think more because we're here and it's similar to Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I was
it's
trying
like,
to find something a little more neutral because I was thinking October, November, December are the months where you are celebrating and you are thankful for things. So it's just like, it doesn't say Thanksgiving, whatever.
mhm. Yeah. Well, if you are going out this weekend, I assume this is when everybody celebrates Halloween, right?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
because it's on Tuesday,
right.
so I assume this is the weekend.
is the
You
big
can't do it
weekend.
after. You do it
Yeah.
the weekend before.
which, why can't they just move holidays to the weekend? Like, you want everybody to spend money and then be off the next day. So every holiday is on a Saturday. Boom, 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 boom. Let's just move them.
Yeah. Well, that's how like Thanksgiving is, right? It's like the fourth Sunday in November.
Thursday.
Sorry.
Like the third
Thursday.
Thursday of the month or something like that.
But yeah, some of these other ones, I guess you have to do it on the date. But even though you celebrate around it anyway, so it doesn't matter.
True.
It really should just be, whenever. But yeah, so Halloween this weekend. Dia de Muerto actually started kind of today. Today actually is the day for mascotas, for
Yay.
pets.
Yes.
So you celebrate dogs, cats, like any kind of pet you have, and you can make the little ofrenda. I'm probably going to do a video, my beer chug video today. That's what I'll do. I'll show you guys Tiger and Pharaoh's ofrenda that we made.
Yes.
So the celebration, it's each day kind of, you're supposed to celebrate something else. I think like it's
Every day is a little something different.
yeah, like
for
today is the
main
pets,
holiday.
and then I think I can't recall the other days, but then first and the second are kind of the big days.
Yeah, it all
And-
leads up to
Yeah, and those
those
are
days.
the days where you celebrate all people that have passed, or animals and people and everything. And and I can't remember if we talked about it last year, but our ofrenda is basically, it's like kind of a little altar, and you put pictures, or if it's for people, you put their favorite foods or maybe their favorite drink. And for dogs, you put maybe some toys or their favorite snacks, or
snacks and treats up there.
yeah,
and
maybe
their
a
little
bowl of
toys.
water. And
Yeah. I
things
did
like
put water up there.
yeah, so that's what we're celebrating today, and we're gonna do Dia de Muertos celebration. I think on next Friday. Actually, we got tickets to this thing, and it's like the first, second, and third actually. So
I'm very excited at Xcaret.
yeah,
We've yet to see the Dia de Muertos celebration at Xcaret, and very excited to see it. Supposed to be
we missed it
amazing.
last year because we went to Podcast and Pours,
Mm.
and I don't know what we did the year before. I think we were just like getting into the swing of things.
Our
'cause
first year,
we were only here for like a month or whatever.
That's when we actually got our face painted
Oh,
on
right.
Fifth and like walked up and down. They didn't have too much going on, but I think every year consistently now for every holiday, they're doing a little bit more in Playa. It's like, I know that there's other big, like Mexico City, Merida, and all these other places are like well known for their Day of the Dead celebrations. But I think Playa's like, hey, we can be just as good. So they're getting out the Katrina dolls or Katrina dolls. They're putting them up everywhere, and I went running up and down Fifth, and there was these giant skulls everywhere. So they're really going all out this year to, make Playa look fun, festive.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you again, everybody that sent us messages and stuff about Tiger. We truly, truly appreciate it.
Thank you
It means
so
so much. They all make me cry, honestly, because I think I'm getting over it. And also a little update for us being back here now. Still hard. We still have our moments where we kind of break down, but it's definitely getting easier. But thank you, everybody that's sent us messages, and
It was
and
really
love.
sweet. It really did help. Even if we would cry, I think every message we'd go through a process. We'd like cry and then laugh and then kind of like talk about it and digest it a little bit. Or anybody that sent us pictures, pictures we've never seen of our friends and family with Tiger, and then they're sending them now, and that makes me so happy to see those. you know?
So thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
If you'd like to support the podcast, buymeacoffee.com/Hansons on hiatus, and follow us on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, all the same thing, Hansons on hiatus.
I want to say thank you to all of our friends in Atlanta and Orlando for putting us up. Lindsay
Yep.
and Patrick, Steve and Donna, all the kids, Kelly and Anthony, Jared and Brittany in Orlando. Just everybody that was so supportive and, came out to see us, even if it was for a couple hours. And just it helped a lot. It really did, seeing everybody and all the hugs.
And it was the perfect move to do, because we talked about Tiger when we needed to, or people were interested, but not everybody like forced it down our throat. Like, hey, like what happened or how's it going or whatever. Yeah. Some people could feel like, you know, if we didn't want to talk about it or if we did. So it was the perfect amount of discussing it and not at the same time and just spending time with friends.
I think that's the hardest thing here. Like we love Mexico. We love traveling, even if we weren't living in Mexico, just traveling all the time. But we do miss our friends. That's probably one of the hardest, and family, of course. Yeah. That's one of the hardest things. I mean, family you don't see every day unless you live close, but our friends, we were all very close with them. Yeah. And that does.
And don't get us wrong, we have tons of friends here, right. But they're travelers, yes. So they're out of town or going up to Isla Mujeres or to Cozumel or Tulum or something, or back home. So it's like everyone's kind of, a lot of times are everywhere. They're gone for the summer. So, right. You know, we just missed our old friends that that are still there.
Yes.
Have not moved around.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. We appreciate it.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. We will talk to you next week. Happy Friday, fuckers.
Happy Friday, fuckies.
That's it. Thanks for listening. Goodbye for now. Bye.